Hi everyone, my name is Kay and today we will be doing a virtual art program brought to you by Valley City Barnes County Library. For this project, we will be creating a watercolor and oil pastel painting tying into the October theme. This is what the painting will look like, or something that it will look like. For this painting, I will show you the supplies that are necessary to create it. Right here, we have our paper. Any type of white paper will do. We have napkins, a watercolor set, a paintbrush, an oil pastel, a pen or a black Sharpie will work, a roll of masking tape, some salt, and our water. Next, I'm going to be walking you step by step on how to create this art piece. First, we're going to start to unroll our masking tape the length of our paper. We'll tear it and we're going to place it right on the edge of our paper and smooth it down. The reason we're doing this is the masking tape allows us to create a border for our painting. This step is optional. I like to do it though because it leaves your painting with a clean edge and a nice border. Once your paper is finished, this is what it will look like. It will have 4 white strips going along the edges of the paper, allowing us to have a border on each side. The next step that we'll do is we're gonna take our white oil pastel and we're gonna draw out some spider webs. For this, you guys can decide how you want your spider webs. If you would like a big one in the middle, or if you would like some little ones in the corners, or a big one and some little ones, anything that you would like to do is gonna be fine. So I am gonna do the same one as the previous painting was shown. So right now I'm gonna start in the corner and just pull my lines down, creating 3 little triangles. From there, I'm gonna find the tops of the triangles and I'm gonna make little half circles. And I'm gonna do it with the second one, and then I'm gonna do it connecting to the edge of the tape and as well on the other side. And then as you do that, you're gonna go down the triangles with the half circles. So we're gonna go again and do it again. And the same on this side and then again on this side. And you can do it as many times as you like. I will probably do it 2 more times. So we'll have another half circle here, another one here, another one here, and another one here. And I think that's it. I think I'm gonna leave it at 3 little half circles. So now I'm gonna make another spider web over in this area of my paper. For this one, it will be a little different than the one we just did. Right now, I'm gonna find the middle of the paper. I'm gonna bring my line and bring it straight down. And then from there, I'm gonna find the middle of that line and then I'm gonna draw a line straight across it. And now I have a white T on my paper. It might be a little hard to see on camera, but when you have the paper in front of you, you will be able to notice where your T is. Find the middle of your T and you're gonna make a diagonal line going straight through your T. And then you're gonna find the middle of it again and you're gonna make a triangle going through the other side of the T. And now you have what looks like a snowflake almost. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get the corners of your snowflake and you're gonna make those half circles again. So you're gonna connect them and you're gonna connect it again and then you're gonna connect it all the way around the entire snowflake looking shape. And so now you have a circle, and then you're gonna connect some more lines. And you guys do not have to be precise. You do not have to follow what I am doing. You guys can create the spider webs however you would like. This is just an example that I want to give you guys so you have a kind of idea of what you would like to do. I know it's a little hard to see on camera, but this is where the watercolor are gonna come in. Now that we have finished with the white pastel, it's time to move on to our watercolors. This is the part that I want everyone to choose their favorite colors and go crazy with it. So for this, I'm actually gonna do some different colors than the previous painting that was shown. I'm going to choose, I'm gonna go with yellow to start. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the yellow wet with our water. And then I'm gonna pick some of the yellow paint up and move it to the lid. The reason I'm doing this is it allows me to mix my colors without getting the yellow paint square completely dirty. So now that I mix my yellow, I'm gonna add a little black to it to give it a darker looking color. And once we're gonna add a little water to the black, and once we have the color I would like, I'm gonna find the part that I wanna start with. And we're gonna start in this corner, and we're gonna start bringing the paint onto the paper. You can see that the oil pastels has caused a reaction with the water. This is allowing the watercolor to absorb the actual paper, and the oil pastels act like a reflectance. So you're gonna go and you're gonna paint, and then if you want to do some different colors, let's add some purple. We're gonna go and add some purple. And you guys can start to see your spider web show up as you add the watercolor onto the paper. And then we can just mix the different colors. We'll mix a little. And then if you guys want to clean your paintbrushes, you guys can use the napkins, and you guys can clean your paintbrushes and then choose a different color that you would like to use. So now we're gonna go with red, and we're gonna add the red into the painting. And then don't be afraid to mix the colors as you're painting the paper. We want to be full and bright. If you want to do dark colors like the painting that was shown before, we can do dark colors. This is completely up to you and whatever you guys are thinking that you want your painting to look like. So now I'm gonna go in with a little green, and I'm gonna start at this corner, and we're gonna start painting this side of the spider webs. Oop, I actually touched the blue, but that's okay. I want the color. And then you know we're gonna do a little yellow, mix the yellow with the green. And sometimes if you notice that your paintbrush will have too much water, that's okay. Just take your paper towel, pat it dry, and then your paintbrush is good as new. And then you can go back into the color that you're wanting and start putting it back on the paper. There we go, in with a little of this. And then we're gonna go in with a little more black, give it a little darker color. And do you guys see how your spider webs are starting to show up? The whole reason that's happening is because the oil in the pastel is reflecting the water and the paint. So you really gotta make sure you're getting into those little nooks and crannies of the spider web so the paper can soak up all of the color that you're putting into it. And then if you don't like a certain color, if you want a certain color to be a little darker, you can go back in and go over it until you get the color that you're looking for. And then I want to add a little more purple into this section. So we'll just go in and we'll blend it with our water. Okay, so now I have the base of my spider webs. I am happy with the colors I have. So the next step that we'll be doing is we're gonna start to add some black into our spider webs. The reason for the black is to give it a little more depth and add some darker tones to our colors. So I'm gonna go in to the rims of the webs and start to add a little black. And then don't worry, we will blend it out. I will show you that in 1 second. So now we're gonna take our paintbrush, we're gonna pat it dry, and we're gonna go back into that area and start to blend that black out into the color that we have. And then we're gonna do it on this side. And then we are just gonna repeat the process until you have the spider web as dark as you would like it. And then if you notice that there is too much water in a certain spot, you can pick up your paper towel and you can pat it dry and it picks up the water that is in that spot. And then we'll go back over and then we can pull the water to a different corner of the spider web and then we can bring it up. And do you see how it's starting to add those darker tones of the color that we have? Okay, I will add the color and then we will be right back. Now I am pulling the black into the open space of the spider web and I'm just brushing it out, just giving this area a little darker of a color. And then I will be pulling up into this yellow section and just blending it all across the painting. Then we'll just pull it through. And then we can get all over the border. That's why we have put the tape down, is because once everything dries, we will take the tape off and we will have a nice clean border. And if you don't like a certain color, we can add a little more. So I'll add a little yellow to this section. And then I feel like adding a little more purple to this section. And you guys can add as much as you want, as little. This is your guys' painting and you can design it however you like. And then I want to combine these colors. So let's blend some of the purple with the yellow in this section. And then we're gonna pat the paintbrush dry and keep blending. Now that I have the colors that I like, the next step that we will be doing is adding the salt. The reason that we add the salt is to give it a textured look that when the salt dries, combining with the paint adds a textured like this. Those little spots and that different breakup of color is done by the salt drying on the watercolors. So we have the salt in our hand and we're gonna sprinkle it all over the painting. You guys can do as much or as little water as you would like. Not water, sorry, I meant salt. All right, and I think that's good. So we're gonna add the salt back into our container. And then brush the rest off to the painting if you would like. If not, you can brush it back onto the trash can. Now, the next step is we're gonna let this dry. We need to let this dry so when we come back, we can go in and add our details with our black pen or Sharpie. Now that our painting is dry, we're going to start adding in the details. For this, as I said before, you guys can use a black ballpoint pen or a black pen, or a thin Sharpie would also work. For this, I will be using my pen. So what I like to do is I'm gonna go and be kind of sloppy with my line work and just start tracing around the spider web, around all the white marks. And I like to be a little sloppy with it just to show the effect of actual spider webs. Kind of have them all over the place. And as you can see, the dark tone of the pen will start to bring out the shape of the white pastel marks, helping to give it the look of a spider web. Now that you went in and did your black lines across your spider webs, we have our painting. And what I'm gonna do is I will go in and just add some little marks kind of around the edges of the painting to look like spider webs thrown back behind and kind of give it a little depth. And something that you guys can do if you're wanting is you can add a spider. So we'll go right here and we'll add a little spider. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a black circle, and then above that black circle, I'm gonna draw a smaller circle. This will be the head and the body of the spider. And then we're gonna draw some legs. So we'll do one here, one here. And I'm sorry, I do not know how many legs a spider actually has. I think they're 8 or 6, but I'm just gonna give mine 6 because I think he likes 6 legs. So now we have my little spider, and that is it. I will zoom in so you guys can see. And this is it for our art project. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and oh, just kidding. You know, we forgot a step. So the next step that we have to do is we're gonna have to take the tape off. So I want you to flip your painting, and we're gonna find the corner of the tape, and we're gonna start to slowly pull it off. and I want you guys to see the border that comes from putting the tape on. So we're gonna do the same to the other side. And then we're gonna pull it off. You guys wanna do it nice and slow. That way you guys don't pull any, see how the paper's kind of pulling? That's okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our thumb and just start to pull the tape again. There we go. Okay, now we have our final prints of our spider webs. They're all done, and if you guys want to make more of these and give them to people in your family, your friends, I think it would be a great little October gift. I hope you guys enjoyed this art program. You guys have a good day.